Hey everyone, Dr. Nuesse from EasyDOTphysicals.com back again with another video, and in this one it's going to be a little bit different from the types of videos I traditionally do on this channel. I do a lot of pre-employment medical testing videos, drug testing videos, that type of thing. This one we're actually talking about stocks, but we are talking about cannabis stocks. So this is kind of a follow-up to a recent video I just did on the HHS and their recommendation to the DEA about rescheduling marijuana. And in that video, I briefly mentioned that when they made this recommendation, cannabis stocks took off. They exploded. So if you haven't seen that video, you can check that out up here. I just briefly mentioned it in this video. So my interest was piqued. I actually researched some of these stocks that they mentioned, and they really did explode. So I want to go over that in this video and kind of speculate what might happen in the future. Now, the obligatory legal disclaimer: I am not a financial expert. I'm not telling you how to invest your money. This is for informational purposes only. Use this information for whatever purpose you will. So in this video, I want to talk about the potential financial benefits to companies for this rescheduling, if this rescheduling does become official. What happened just after the HHS announcement? I'm going to go over a couple stocks individually and show you what actually happened and what may happen once the DEA makes its final decision. But first, and as always, let me encourage anyone that has an upcoming drug test and is concerned about passing that drug test to please home test. This is the simplest, the cheapest, the easiest thing you can do to know if you are going to pass an upcoming drug test. I will leave a link to my preferred home drug test in the description box below. You can get it directly from Amazon. It's a company I've been working with now for years. They've got the exact same cutoff levels as official lab tests. And also, just a bit of an announcement, very soon I will have a complete step-by-step course on drug testing, taking you through what a drug test looks like, things you should be doing before the drug test, things you should not be doing before a drug test, what happens if you test positive, everything included, so that you know and you're prepared if you have an upcoming drug test and are concerned about passing that drug test. I'm making a complete series, very comprehensive, with a lot of things that unfortunately I just cannot talk about here on YouTube due to YouTube's policies around drug-related material. So that will be coming up very soon as well. Check in the description for a link directly to that step-by-step course. All right, back to the subject matter at hand. Let's first talk about the potential financial impact to businesses and their profitability that deal in cannabis if the HHS recommendation to the DEA actually goes through and it becomes rescheduled. So the first and the major thing that would happen is that 280E would be eliminated. Now, what is 280E? This is a specific part of the tax code that prohibits marijuana-related businesses from taking standard business deductions. If you have a business, you can take certain deductions, and marijuana businesses just can't do this federally because they are engaged in a business involving a Schedule I substance. So from what I've read, this could cause cannabis-related businesses, their profitability to go up 20%, 25%, 30%, or even more. So this is a huge win, again, if it goes through. And make no mistake, nothing has changed legally yet. This was a recommendation that was made, but this would be huge for the bottom line of these businesses. The next big positive that potentially could happen if this goes through is that since marijuana would be rescheduled to a Schedule III drug, more doctors might be willing to prescribe it for certain medical conditions, meaning there is more demand for it, meaning there's more profitability because it's being used more. And another benefit could be that these businesses would have easier access getting loans. So cannabis related businesses could get loans more easily, could buy new equipment or expand. So another big positive as far as their profitability goes. So the HHS made this recommendation, but again, this has not become law. The DEA has not made a final ruling, but just after the announcement, so just having this recommendation, the stock prices, a lot of these cannabis stocks just shot up. And I'm going to show you a couple examples because I looked deeper into a couple of these stocks. So this first one, Green Thumb Industries, the recommendation was made on the 29th, and you can see the day of the HHS recommendation, the stock price was at 6.92, and as of today, the filming of this video, look at that steep up line, it is at 10.95. So an increase of about 35, 36%, something like that. And then the other example I have here is Curaleaf Holdings. I think it's a company out of Chicago. And look at this for the past 6 months as well. On the 29th, it was sitting at $2.69. And as of today, the filming of this video, it's at $4.52. So an increase of almost, I think about 40%. So again, it is just shot straight up. And again, nothing has changed up to this point, at least legally. So that brings us up to current. But what happens now? What happens going forward? So in my opinion, again, and I'm speculating here, one of two things is going to happen with these companies and their stock prices. And it depends on what the DEA ultimately decides. So if the DEA decides that they are going to completely ignore the HHS recommendation and keep marijuana Schedule 1, it will absolutely kill these stock prices, kill these companies. And if the DEA goes through and does reschedule, does go along with the recommendation from HHS and reschedule marijuana from 1 to Schedule 3, then I think it's pretty obvious that these stock prices will again just take off. Now, it does seem absurd to me that the DEA would not go along with the science and the HHS recommendation, but traditionally the DEA has been very hesitant to reschedule marijuana specifically. So take this information again for what it is, to do with it what you will. Please let me know in the comment section below, do you own cannabis stock? Are you interested in cannabis stock? How do you think this will all shake out? I'd be very interested to know if anybody is actually in the industry or is invested in the industry. All right, stay subscribed here. Updates coming all the time on these types of subjects. And until next time, everybody, stay safe.